Have you ever just stopped and wondered what's actually going on behind every single website you visit? I mean, from a simple blog to a super complex app, there's this kind of secret blueprint at work. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and decode the magic that powers, well, the entire internet.
So to really wrap our heads around all this, I want you to start with a question. Just think about this for a second. What if building a website
was as simple as building a house? I know, it sounds a little out there, but trust me, this one simple idea is the key. Because once you start seeing a website as a house, everything else just clicks into place.
You see, pretty much every site on the web, and I mean every site, is built with just 3 core technologies. You can think of them as the web trinity. They're the fundamental building blocks, and we're going to use our house blueprint to understand them all. And this table, it lays it all out just perfectly. So, first up, you've got HTML. That's your structure. The walls, the floors, the roof. It literally defines what's there. Then you've got CSS, which handles all the design. We're talking paint colors, furniture, the whole vibe that gives the house its personality. And finally, JavaScript. That's the behavior. It's the electricity and the plumbing that makes things actually do stuff. You know, like letting you flip a light switch or turn on a faucet.
So let's start where any good builder would, the foundation. First, we've got to build the structure, and for that, we use HTML. It is the absolute skeleton of every single web page out there.
HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now, the key word there is markup. This is super important. It's not a programming language. There's no fancy logic. It just uses these little things called tags to describe the content, saying, hey, this is a headline, this is a paragraph, or this is an image. It really is just the architectural blueprint, telling you where all the rooms and doors go.
Okay, so our house has walls and a roof, but let's be honest, right now it's just a big, boring gray box. To make it feel like a home, we need to design the space. And that's where we bring in CSS to add all the skin and the style. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of CSS, you need to get this one single, incredibly powerful idea. Just let it sink in for a second. Every single element on a web page is a box. Every heading, every button, every single image, it's all just a box. And this concept right here is how all those boxes work. It's called the box model. Right at the very core, you've got your content, the text or the image. Wrapped around that is padding, which is just some empty space inside the box. Then you have the border itself. And finally, on the very outside is the margin, which is the empty space outside the box that pushes other elements away. Seriously, if you understand this one concept, you understand the fundamentals of all web layout. It's that important.
All right, our house is built and it's looking good, but right now it's just a static model. Nothing actually works. You can't flip the switches or turn on the power. For that, we need JavaScript, the brain and the brawn of a website.
Now remember how HTML was a markup language? Well, JavaScript is a true programming language. It handles all the logic, it stores information, and most importantly, it responds to what you, the user, do. It's the code that's constantly listening for your clicks, your scrolls, your keyboard presses, and it makes the page react. It's what brings the house to life.
Let's make this totally real for a second. Imagine you're playing a game on a website. When you click a button, that's step 1. Then, in step 2, there's this little piece of JavaScript code called an event listener that's always listening, and it hears that click. That click triggers a function in step 3, which is really just a block of code that says, hey, add 10 points to the score. And finally, step 4, JavaScript instantly updates the web page to show you your new score. And that, right there, is interactivity in a nutshell.
Okay, so you might be thinking, this is great, but can I just ask an AI to build a website for me? And you know what? The answer is yes, you can. But knowing this blueprint is what makes you the architect, not just a passenger along for the ride. I absolutely love this analogy because it's so true. Using AI to code without understanding the basics is exactly like driving a car without knowing what a brake is. Sure, you might be moving forward, but you have no real control and you have no idea what to do when something inevitably goes wrong. Because when you really understand the blueprint, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you basically unlock AI superpowers. You know exactly what to ask the AI to generate. You can actually read the code it spits out and know if it makes any sense. You can make little fixes yourself instead of going back and forth with the AI for every tiny change. And maybe most importantly, you can tell if the code it gave you is quality work or if it's just garbage. This knowledge puts you firmly in the driver's seat.
So there you have it. We've laid out the entire plan, the structure, the design, and the logic that builds the entire web.
You now hold the secret blueprint. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?